Fellow Stoic, they never wanted you to see this. Evil often hides behind a friendly face. Here are 7 red flags you need to watch out for. Not everyone around you wants to see you succeed. Some people wear masks, pretending to be allies while secretly plotting against you. They smile, they offer support, they say all the right things, but behind it all, there is something darker. They manipulate, deceive, and drain your energy, all while making sure you never suspect a thing. And by the time you do, it's often too late. You've already given them your trust, your time, your energy, but you are waking up now. You are starting to see the truth, that not everyone who stands beside you is on your side. Evil does not always reveal itself openly. It does not come with a warning sign or a sinister glare. More often, it arrives wrapped in kindness, disguised as friendship, hidden behind words that seem to care. The Stoics knew this well. They understood that the greatest dangers are often the ones we refuse to see. That is why they trained themselves to recognize the signs, to sharpen their minds, and to protect their inner peace at all costs. If you do not see the red flags in time, you will be manipulated, used, and discarded. But if you learn to identify them early, you become untouchable. In this video, we will uncover the 7 warning signs that expose the truly dangerous people in your life. The ones who seek to control you, manipulate your emotions, and undermine your confidence. The ones who pretend to be your friends while secretly working against you. If this message resonates with you, like this video and comment yes if you've ever had to cut a toxic person out of your life. Stay until the very end, because the final red flag is the one they never want you to recognize. The nature of evil. You have felt it before, that nagging sensation in your gut that something is off. Maybe it was the way they looked at you, the way they spoke in riddles, never giving a straight answer. Maybe it was the way they always seemed to turn things around, making you question yourself, making you wonder if you were the problem. But here's the truth. You were never the problem. You were the target. Because evil does not always come with a warning sign. It does not always appear as an obvious threat. Sometimes, it hides in the people closest to you. The friend who always undermines you, the colleague who smiles in your face but plots behind your back, the family member who twists your words and drains your energy. You are not imagining it. You are not overreacting. They want you to believe that you are. Because the moment you see them for who they truly are, they lose their power over you. And that is exactly why you must learn to recognize the nature of evil before it's too late. Most people never see it coming. They believe that everyone has good in them, that with enough patience, kindness, or understanding, even the most toxic person can change. But some people do not change. Some people do not want peace. They do not seek growth. They do not care about right or wrong. They only care about control. They operate in shadows, manipulating, deceiving, making you feel guilty for things you should never have to apologize for. And what happens? You stay. You keep giving them chances, hoping that maybe this time they will be different. And every time you do, you give them another opportunity to weaken you. Seneca warned of this over 2,000 years ago when he wrote, "A good character, when established, is not easily overthrown, but evil is restless." Evil does not sleep. It does not hesitate. It does not care how much you love, how much you sacrifice, or how much you try to help. It only cares that you remain blind long enough for it to do what it does best, destroy. But here's what they don't want you to know. Every struggle you have faced, every betrayal, every manipulation, has been preparing you for this moment. You are not weak for having encountered these people. You are stronger because of it. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes a way." The challenges you have faced are not obstacles. They are your training ground. Every time you have been deceived, you have learned to see more clearly. Every time someone has tried to break you, you have become harder to manipulate. The Stoics knew that life does not protect you from suffering, but suffering can make you unbreakable if you allow it to. They never wanted you to realize this. They never wanted you to wake up. Because the moment you do, you stop being a victim and start becoming something they fear, someone who cannot be controlled. And this is when the shift begins. You start to notice things you never saw before. The subtle manipulations, the way they always make themselves a victim, the way they twist reality to make you question yourself. But this time, you do not fall for it. This time, you see it for what it is, a game. And once you recognize a game, You stop playing. You do not react. You do not argue. You do not explain yourself. You simply detach. And suddenly, the power they once held over you is gone. You become the one who decides where your energy goes, who deserves your attention, and who no longer has a place in your life. This is what the Stoics called apatheia, a state of inner peace so strong that no external force can disturb it. And once you master it, you become untouchable. So now, the question is simple. Will you continue to give your energy to people who only seek to drain it? Will you allow yourself to be manipulated, to be controlled, to be pulled into their chaos? Or will you take back your power, sharpen your mind, and become someone they can no longer reach? The Stoics knew that the greatest strength a person can have is the ability to control their own mind, to see reality for what it is, and to act accordingly. You have that power within you. You always have. The only question is, will you use it? Comment, see if you refuse to be blind to the truth. And stay with me, because the next red flag is the one that gives them the most power over you. Red flag number 1. They try to control you. You know the feeling. That creeping sense that something isn't quite right. At first, everything seems normal, maybe even good. They seem supportive, invested in your life, always willing to offer advice or help you make the right decisions. But over time, you start to notice the shift. What once felt like guidance now feels like control. You hesitate before making a decision, worried about how they will react. You second-guess yourself because they always seem to know better. You feel guilty when you assert your own thoughts or push back against their influence. And before you know it, you are no longer living for yourself. You are living for them. This is how control begins. It doesn't happen overnight, and it doesn't always come with open threats or aggression. It is slow, subtle, a gradual tightening of chains that you don't even realize are there until you try to break free. Control is one of the most dangerous forms of manipulation because it disguises itself as care. They tell you they just want what's best for you. They convince you that their way is the right way. They make you feel like you need their approval before you can make a move. And if you push back, they make you feel guilty. They twist reality, making you question yourself, making you wonder if maybe they are right. Maybe you do need their guidance. They use phrases like, "I just want to protect you," or "I know you better than you know yourself." But here's the truth. A person who truly cares about you will never try to control you. They will never make you feel small, powerless, or incapable. They will encourage you to think for yourself, to trust your own judgment, to grow into your own strength. If someone in your life is making you feel like you can't move without their permission, that is not love, that is not friendship, that is control. And the longer you allow it, the harder it becomes to escape. The Stoics understood that control over others is a sign of weakness, not strength. A truly strong person does not need to dominate others. They only seek to master themselves. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Do not be wise in words, be wise in deeds." Words mean nothing if the actions do not match. So what's their actions? Are they always making decisions for you? Do they subtly pressure you to think a certain way, to behave in a way that suits them? Do they make you feel guilty when you resist their influence? A person who seeks control over you is not someone who respects you. And the moment you see it for what it is, you take away their power. The Stoics believe that freedom, true freedom, comes not from external circumstances, but from the ability to control your own mind and make your own choices. If someone is trying to take that away from you, they are not your ally. They are your enemy, no matter what words they use to disguise it. And here's what they don't want you to know. The moment you reclaim your mind, the moment you assert your independence, their grip on you begins to weaken. At first, they will resist. They will push back harder, trying to make you feel selfish or ungrateful. They will try to pull you back into the cycle. But if you stand firm, if you refuse to let them dictate your actions, you will begin to see the change. Your confidence will return. You will realize how much energy you have wasted seeking their approval. You will feel lighter, clearer, more in control than you have in a long time. And soon, they will have no choice but to retreat. Because people who rely on control do not know how to exist without it. Once you stop playing their game, they lose. So now, ask yourself, who in your life is making decisions for you? Who makes you feel guilty for thinking independently? Who reacts negatively when you assert your own will? These are the people who do not belong in your life. The Stoic understands that true strength comes from within, that no external force should have the power to dictate your path. You were not meant to live under someone else's command. You were not meant to spend your life seeking approval, permission, or validation. You were meant to think for yourself, to move freely, to build a life that is truly your own. And the moment you choose to reclaim your power, you will feel something you may not have felt in a long time: freedom. Comment freedom if you refuse to be controlled. And don't go anywhere, because the next 2 red flags reveal how they twist reality itself. If you're still watching, you already know the truth. There are people in your life who do not have good intentions. And if you do not recognize them, they will take advantage of you. But we're only just getting started, because the next 2 red flags expose their most dangerous weapon: emotional manipulation. Before we continue, make sure you subscribe, share this video, and click the super thanks button if this message is helping you break free. Now, let's uncover the next signs of a toxic mind. Red flag number 2 and number 3, emotional manipulation and constant lies. You felt it before, that moment when something doesn't sit right, but you can't quite put your finger on why. Maybe it was the way they twisted your words, making you question yourself. Maybe it was how they played the victim when you tried to set a boundary, how they made you feel guilty for something that wasn't your fault. Or maybe it was the endless cycle of broken promises, shifting stories, and excuses that never quite made sense. You're not imagining it. You're not overreacting. You're being manipulated. And the worst part? They know exactly what they are doing. They don't fight you with force. They fight you with emotions. They pull you in with sympathy, break you down with guilt, and control you with lies. And unless you learn to see it for what it is, you will be trapped, apologizing for things that weren't your fault, second-guessing yourself, giving them chance after chance while they take more and more from you. But you are waking up now, and once you see the pattern, you can never unsee it. A true manipulator is a master of emotional warfare. They do not argue with logic, because logic would expose them. Instead, they provoke reactions. They push your buttons, drag you into their chaos, and once they have you emotional, angry, guilty, defensive, that is when they strike. They twist the story, paint themselves as a victim, and suddenly you are the one on trial. You are the one explaining, apologizing, trying to prove yourself, while they sit back and watch you unravel. Epictetus warned, any person capable of angering you becomes your master. That is their goal, to make you feel so overwhelmed, so emotional, that you no longer see clearly. Because once they have control over your emotions, they have control over you. They can make you question your own reality. They can make you feel like you are the problem. And the longer you stay in this cycle, the harder it is to escape. You start to believe them. You start to silence your instincts. You start to shrink yourself, walking on eggshells, afraid of setting them off. And that is exactly where they want you: confused, unsteady, easy to control. But here's what they don't want you to know. The moment you stop reacting, you take away their power. The Stoics understood this deeply. They trained themselves to remain calm, not because they lacked emotion, but because they refused to let their emotions be weaponized against them. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." You cannot control how they behave, but you can control how you respond. And the moment you stop engaging in their games, the moment you stop explaining, defending, proving yourself, you break the cycle. They will try harder at first. They will push more buttons, create more drama, test your boundaries in new ways. But if you hold the line, if you refuse to play, they will have no choice but to look elsewhere. Because manipulators cannot survive without a reaction. They feed off your energy, and when you stop giving it to them, they starve. And then something shifts. You stop feeling anxious around them. You stop feeling the need to explain yourself, to make them understand. You see them for what they are, not powerful, not special, but weak. Because anyone who has to manipulate and lie to control others is weak. And once you recognize that, you start moving differently. You stop responding to their guilt trips. You stop believing their excuses. You stop caring what they think of you. And suddenly, you feel lighter. The confusion, the self-doubt, the emotional exhaustion, it all starts to fade. You begin to trust yourself again. You begin to feel clear. And that is when you know you are free. So now, ask yourself, who in your life makes you feel like you are constantly walking in circles? Who twists reality so you are always the one apologizing? Who drains your energy with endless drama, guilt, and deception? These are the people who do not belong in your life. A Stoic does not waste time trying to change manipulators. A Stoic does not argue with liars. A Stoic simply sees, and then they act accordingly. And that is your power now, to see them for what they are and remove yourself from their game. Because once you do, they can never control you again. Comment clear if you refuse to be fooled. Because next, we expose the people who pretend to be your closest friends, while secretly working against you. Red flag number 4 and number 5, fake friendships and subtle disrespect. You felt it before. That strange hesitation before sharing your good news, that instinctive pause when you wonder if they are truly happy for you. Maybe it was the way their smile didn't quite reach their eyes, the way their congratulations felt forced, or the way they suddenly changed the subject when the attention was on you. At first, you ignored it. You told yourself you were imagining things. After all, they're your friend, right? But then, the pattern became undeniable. Every time you succeeded, they downplayed it. Every time you struggled, they subtly enjoyed it. And every time you needed support, they were mysteriously absent. This is what a fake friend looks like, not an obvious enemy, but a quiet saboteur. They do not attack you directly, but they make sure you never rise too far above them. They keep you doubting yourself, questioning your worth, feeling like you must shrink to keep them comfortable. But you are waking up now. You are beginning to see the truth, that not everyone who stands beside you is truly on your side. These people are the most dangerous because they disguise themselves as allies. They infiltrate your trust, study your weaknesses, and learn exactly how to undermine you while still keeping their hands clean. They don't insult you outright. Instead, they make small, cutting remarks disguised as jokes. They don't openly betray you. Instead, they disappear when you need them most, leaving you to face hardships alone while pretending they were simply busy. And when you confront them, they play innocent, acting as if you are imagining things, making you question your own instincts. They want you to stay confused, to keep doubting yourself, because as long as you are unsure, you will continue to give them the benefit of the doubt. That is their game. And if you do not recognize it in time, it will drain you mentally, emotionally, even spiritually. You will find yourself trapped in friendships that feel more like obligations, constantly giving, constantly trying to prove your worth to people who will never truly support you. But once you open your eyes, once you recognize the pattern, you reclaim your power. Seneca warned of this over 2,000 years ago when he said, "Associate with people who are likely to improve you." A true friend does not drain your energy. A true friend does not subtly undermine you, pretend to care while secretly resenting you, or disappear when you need them. A true friend challenges you, supports you, encourages your growth. They do not feel threatened by your success, nor do they enjoy your failures. And this is where the Stoic wisdom comes in. Because once you recognize who is truly on your side, you must have the strength to act accordingly. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." And the people around you influence those thoughts more than you realize. If you surround yourself with those who secretly work against you, then negativity will poison your mind, cloud your judgment, and weaken your spirit. But if you choose to surround yourself with those who uplift you, who challenge you to be better, who celebrate your victories as if they were their own, you will become unstoppable. And here's what happens when you start cutting out the fake and surrounding yourself with the real. You feel lighter. The doubt that once clouded your mind disappears. Your energy returns. You stop questioning yourself because you are no longer surrounded by people who secretly want you to fail. Your confidence grows because the people in your life actually believe in you. You begin to attract opportunities, not because the universe suddenly changed, but because you are no longer held back by invisible anchors. And the ones who never truly supported you, they will reveal themselves. They will be angry that you no longer seek their approval, that you no longer play along with their passive-aggressive games. They will say you changed, and they will be right, because you will have evolved into someone they can no longer manipulate, someone who no longer tolerates fake friendships and hidden resentment. You will have become someone they can no longer reach. So now, ask yourself, who in your life makes you feel stronger, and who makes you feel smaller? who encourages your growth, and who subtly resents it. If someone in your life drains you instead of strengthening you, it is time to let them go. This is not about revenge. This is not about anger. This is about guarding your mind, your energy, and your peace. A Stoic does not waste time with those who weaken them. A Stoic surrounds themselves with those who sharpen them, challenge them, and push them toward greatness. This is your moment. The choice is yours. Will you continue to keep those who secretly work against you in your circle? Or will you walk away and align yourself with people who truly belong in your life? Comment God if you are ready to protect yourself. And stay with me, because the final red flags will reveal exactly how to break free. You've seen the signs. You understand the dangers. But knowing is not enough. You must also learn how to protect yourself. How to protect yourself. There comes a moment when you finally see the truth. You realize that no amount of explaining, arguing, or proving yourself will ever change the way certain people treat you. You recognize that their manipulation, their deceit, their attempt to control you were never about misunderstanding. They were about power. And in that moment, you face a choice. You can keep engaging, keep defending yourself, keep trying to make them see reason, or you can walk away. But walking away feels difficult, doesn't it? It feels like giving up. It feels like letting them win. That's what they want you to think. They want you to believe that if you do not fight, you have lost. But here's what they don't understand. The Stoic does not fight meaningless battles. The Stoic does not waste energy on people who thrive on chaos. The Stoic simply sees, and then they act. And in many cases, the most powerful action you can take is no action at all. The greatest trap set by toxic people is the illusion that you owe them something, that you owe them an explanation, a chance to make things right, another opportunity to drain you. They will demand a conversation, a final word, a dramatic confrontation where they get to spin the narrative one last time. But a person who has proven themselves to be harmful does not deserve your explanation. They do not deserve your attention. And they certainly do not deserve your energy. Marcus Aurelius understood this deeply, writing, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury." This is not about getting even. This is not about teaching them a lesson. This is about refusing to become like them. They thrive on reaction. They want your anger, your sadness, your frustration. Do not give it to them. The moment you stop feeding them your energy, you become free. And then something powerful happens. You realize you never needed them at all. The weight they place on your mind, the stress they brought into your life, the way they made you doubt yourself, it all begins to disappear. You notice how much lighter you feel without them. Your thoughts become clearer, your focus sharper. You are no longer second-guessing yourself, replaying old conversations, analyzing their every word to find hidden meaning. You simply exist without the constant pull of their negativity. And that is when you understand the true power of the Stoic path. It was never about winning the argument. It was never about proving them wrong. It was always about reclaiming yourself. Seneca said, "Withdraw into yourself as much as you can. Associate with those who will make you better." This is the essence of protection, not fighting enemies, but surrounding yourself with strength. As you step further into this new way of being, the changes become undeniable. You start to recognize red flags before they become chains. You stop allowing people to take advantage of your kindness, your loyalty, your patience. You become selective with your energy, no longer giving away your time to people who drain you. And the most beautiful part? You start attracting better people. Those who respect you, those who genuinely support you, those who challenge you to grow rather than hold you back. Your external world begins to shift, not because the world itself has changed, but because you have. You have raised your standards. You have chosen your peace over your need to be understood by people who never deserved you in the first place. So now, ask yourself, where's your energy going? Who are you still explaining yourself to? Who is still pulling you into battles that do nothing but exhaust you? And more importantly, are you ready to let go? The Stoic does not look back. The Stoic does not carry resentment. The Stoic simply moves forward, leaving behind what does not serve them. This is not weakness. This is strength. To walk away without anger, without regret, without the need for closure. To protect your peace as if it were the most valuable thing you own, because it is, You cannot afford to waste your life on those who do not respect it. The time is now. Walk away and never look back. Comment God if you are ready to protect yourself. And remember, your peace is your power. Protect it. In the quiet aftermath of every trial and every triumph, there comes a moment of reckoning, a moment when the knowledge you have painstakingly gathered is laid before you like a treasure map leading to a destiny that is uniquely your own. In this space between thought and action, you are invited to pause and reflect on the journey that has brought you here, a journey marked by struggles against distraction, by battles fought against inner demons, and by small, yet powerful, victories that have gradually rebuilt the foundation of your life. This is a moment when you finally see that the wisdom you have acquired is not simply a collection of abstract ideas, but a living, breathing guide that can transform the way you experience the world. It is a clarity that emerges after countless nights of introspection, the kind of understanding that whispers, "You now have the knowledge." The question is, will you use it? In the echoes of your heart, where doubt and hope intertwine, there is an undeniable truth. You are not alone in your quest for self-mastery. Many have walked this path before you, and many more will follow, each step a testament to the power of a spirit that refuses to be subdued by the mundane. Your journey is one of awakening, where every moment of insight serves as a stepping stone toward a future defined by intentionality, resilience, and an unyielding commitment to living with purpose. The challenges you have faced are as diverse as they are profound. Moments of vulnerability when the weight of the world seemed unbearable, days when the clamor of external expectations drowned out the quiet voice of your inner wisdom. You may recall the times when every conversation felt like a struggle, every decision a battle against the inertia of old habits, and every emotion a storm raging within. It is in these moments that the lessons of Stoicism, both ancient and unsung, become your quiet allies. Consider the wisdom of Musonius Rufus, a Stoic philosopher whose insights, though less celebrated than those of Marcus Aurelius, resonate with a raw, unfiltered authenticity. He once observed that the true test of a man's character is not in his moments of triumph, but in how he endures the storms of life without losing his inner fire. This sentiment encapsulates the essence of your struggles, serving as a reminder that every hardship is not a mark of failure, but a call to rise with renewed vigor. In your daily life, the challenges you face are not simply obstacles to be overcome. They are the very crucible in which your spirit is refined, where the embers of your inner strength are fanned into a blazing commitment to live with integrity and clarity. Amid the chaos and uncertainty, there is a divine preparation unfolding, a meticulous arrangement of experiences that shapes you into the master of your own fate. The Stoic teachings that have echoed through time are not relics of a bygone era, but practical guides for the modern soul. Beyond the oft-quoted maxims of brevity and discipline, there exists a lesser-known Stoic perspective attributed to hierarchs, who taught that the art of living is the art of choosing what is essential, and in doing so, the soul learns to discern what truly matters from the trivial. This idea, profound in its simplicity, invites you to sift through the clutter of daily distractions and focus on what sustains your inner light. It is a reminder that every decision, every word, and every thought can either fortify your spirit or erode the very foundation of your being. In this grand tapestry of existence, the trials you endure are threads woven by fate, guiding you toward an existence where knowledge is not just accumulated but actively employed to reclaim the power that rightfully belongs to you. The universe, in its enigmatic wisdom, has provided you with the tools you need, and now the question stands before you like an open door. Will you step through and embrace the life you are destined to lead? As you stand on the threshold of this profound transformation, you begin to witness the unmistakable signs of a new era in your life, moments of clarity that break through the haze of distraction, interactions that reflect a deeper, more meaningful connection, and an inner calm that anchors you in the midst of life's inevitable storms. It is as if you have become a conductor, orchestrating the various elements of your existence with the precision of a master craftsman. The power of your words, the clarity of your intentions, and the strength of your focus are now tangible forces that shape your world. Imagine a river that has, after a long period of stagnation, begun to flow with renewed energy, carving its path through rugged terrain and nourishing the lands it touches. Comment I am Stoic if this resonates with you, if you are ready to take back your power and to transform every fragment of your life into a testament of purpose and strength. Let this be your clarion call, a resounding declaration that you will not allow the forces of distraction, fear, or self-doubt to dictate the course of your destiny. Embrace the Stoic wisdom that has been your guide on this journey, and know that the power you wield, rooted in discipline, clarity, and intentional action, is a force for change.